Welcome back. So we have this character that we've made look a little bit gaunt. We're going to turn this guy into some kind of zombie undead character. So I've opened up the skin editor, and then we've got the layers that have been, it's all documented on the site. So what we're going to do now is concentrate on the actual DMFX zombie assets. And for me, the most important part is we look here and we've got all kinds of wounds and things, and it's all gory and we've got blood and what have you, and a lot of people are going to just drag those on and go crazy, and to me that's not the way to do it. We are going to use them, but first things first is the most important part of this is what I've called the zombie blotches. These are the base for the skin, and this is really what makes the character look kind of undead. So let's start off by putting in this. So I left mouse drag and click and place it onto the character. This all looks a bit strange. I click on here and we have a few controls. Now I want to draw attention to this link, which means that this is an important logo. It means that this is a tileable texture across the character, the whole of the character. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the tiling and just do a little bit of experimentation on this. Too much. Now that could be quite interesting. So I'm going to press this button here that says update. It's going to do its thing. I kind of think that's kind of interesting. So the other thing to consider is this is kind of like a Photoshop, but with layers, kind of normal map information. So I'm going to increase the blur on this quite a lot, and then with the expansion, yeah, see that? And I'm going to decrease the opacity slightly, and then I'm going to, that's great, it's updating one time. So the other thing you can do, which people are not aware of, is that you can change the mixing types. Now that's more subtle. I kind of like that. Now this is just completely down to, you know, your taste. So I'm going to go with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to then take veins layer. I'm going to drag that over the top. I'm going to add it, not replace it. Already looking pretty groovy. So again, we can choose to change the tiling on that. We can change the color. So I just left mouse click and I could make this a bit more of a kind of a blue vein. It kind of works. Could make it a bit darker. Green. So again, you're going to look at it and go, that's the color I want. Well, that's great. You go with the color you want. So, yeah, just a little. And I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to press update. But I'm going to take the opacity down slightly. And I'm going to do the expansion, but I might take this down and this up. No. Actually take the expansion down but the opacity up, and then I'm going to update that. Looked like it was updating, but just to be sure that's better. So now I'm going to take the same asset and I'm going to drag it on again. Yeah, so let's select this asset and let's difficult to pick a winner. I mean, that one's given us a lot of underlying information. Let's tune up the opacity, just kind of groovy. Expansion as well, we could take that down. You see, it's like if we expand, we get this kind of purple. If we take it down, we also sharpen, getting a bit closer. And this is 2K resolution, so it's not bad. I mean, you can go to 4K, but that's depending on your graphics card, and I'll just speak about that briefly. I think that's kind of interesting, and so I'm going to press the update button. So depending on your graphics card, you can do things like make static. I would go for the largest possible size. You can collapse the layers, you can flatten them if you're running out of texture memory. And this is something that I would save this as version 01 of your zombie character, and then you could collapse the layers. You could bring this up to 4K, and then you haven't lost any of the information. But to be honest, at 2K it's looking pretty good. At this sort of stage, I would kind of I might save the character out, and then you could have a few different versions along the similar lines with different size tiling for different characters, male and female, and you could quite happily do that. Actually, that looks kind of nice. Let's update that. Yeah, but let's just change the colour of that to make it a little bit more sympathetic to the other colour. Not too far, but okay. So yeah, that's a pretty good start, and to me this is the most important layer. Now, the other thing to be mindful of is the fact that you do have masks, and so if you double click, fairly self-explanatory, and yes, you can use those to mask up specific areas. That gives you a sort of a taster of the way I would approach it, and we'll continue in the next video.